Beverages must be consumed in the cafeteria or lobby and now brought into the gymnasium. Smoking is prohibited anywhere on school grounds. Tonight, Northeastern is hosting the Indians from Peru. At this time, I'd like to introduce the Indians. Number 50, Mike Novelli. Number 4, Will Frank. Number 33, Taylor Spear. Number 44, Charles Romero. Number 5, Ben Whitman. Starting for the Indians, at guard number 12, Kyle Carter. At guard number 24, Joe Mazzella. At center number 34, Robert Duquette. At forward number 10, Dan Cameron. At forward number 23, Caleb Dolby. Indians are coached by Matt Berry. For the Cougars, number 24, Logan Miller. Number 12, Nathan McVay. Number 22, Randy Grimshaw. Number 11, Fred Hapgood. Number 15, Ron Armstrong. Number 21, Richie Collins. Starting for the Cougars, at guard number 32, Tom Bedard. At guard number 23, Jamie Davison. At forward number 44, Steve Carter. At forward number 31, Connor Chapman. And at forward number 45, Casey Manor. The Cougars are coached by Mr. Rob Guerin. Officials for tonight's game are Mr. Parker and Mr. LaVarge. Please rise for the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched. We're so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs were swinging out, gave through the night, and our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet
Enough to make.
Calvin Castine at Northeastern Clinton Central School. It's the 5th day of January 2009, and as soon as Joe Southwick has his jacket
2010.
off, 2010, that's right.
I don't get the correct YouTube on.
No, that's because you're usually doing the talking. So it is 2010, and we got Joe Southwick with his jacket off and ready to do the play-by-play. A big matchup in the CVAC. The unbeaten Peru Indians and the once beaten Northeastern Clinton Central School Cougars.
Well, thank you for the intro, Calvin. Sorry for showing up a little bit late. Just walked in. The action has just got underway, and Robert Duquette picks up his first foul on Stephen Carter with a strong inside move. So we'll actually, looks like the foul will go against Goki instead. Originally looked like Duquette picked up the foul, but that's Carter sinks his first free throw, and his second one is up and good. So the Cougars will sink back into that normal 2-3 defense. And you take me a second just to get the names down here. That's Carter with the ball. Duquette slaps it away, but Davison comes away with it. Nice no look up to Bedard, can't convert. Manor with an offensive rebound, puts it up and doesn't go, but that Carter comes away with another offensive rebound, and he gets hammered on the way up. Looks like that one's going to go against Duquette. So 2 quick team fouls for the Indians off the get-go, and Stephen Carter will step to the line to shoot 2. Officials for tonight's contest, Steve Parker and one of the LaBarge boys, Jamie LaBarge. They both look the same from the back, so he has a turn.
A new vice principal.
New vice principal at NAC? Oh, PHS. Good for him. Carter makes 1 out of 2, so it's an early 3-0 lead for the Cougars. This is Carter with it. Golke again, try to get it inside to Duquette, can't handle it. Davison comes away with the loose ball. This is Bedard in the corner, inside for Carter. They're content to go inside to the big man. Davison, Bedard for 3. That's money. Cougars out to a quick 6-0 lead here with just under 7 minutes, a little bit, 7 minutes to go in the first quarter. Again, Carter over to Golke. This is Karen with it. Karen to Mazzello. Okay. This is inside for Duquette. Puts the ball on the floor and loses the handle, and off it goes. So Indians struggling a little bit to get any offensive rhythm going here. So Coach Berry calls a quick timeout. Right out of the timeout, Cougars will inbound. Indians with a little bit of pressure. Carter gives it over to Davison. So it's just a little token pressure by the Indians. Nothing serious there. Nice dump inside for Manor. Kicks it back out for for Chapman. Chapman loses the handle. The Indians come away with it. Here's a drive in the paint. Shot goes up and won't go down. Manor with a nice rebound. Gives it over for Chapman. Chapman looking for Davison. Drops it off for Davison. Davison tries to get it inside for the cutting Connor Chapman, but it gets kicked out of bounds, and we get an early substitution for the Eagles. The Indians. Number 50, Mike Novelli checks in, and Robert Duquette gets a rest. This is Bedard, and he gets called for the travel. The Indians on the attack. Kicked out from Mazzella. Pretty good three-point shooter. That one's a little short. Manor with the rebound. Here's Davison. Drives the lane. Puts up a nice uncontested layup. Jamie Davison with a nice drive through the paint. Indians got caught a little flat-footed there. I don't think they expected that. Again, here's Golke. Kicks it out. And Golke in the paint. Puts up the shot, draws the foul. Foul's going to be on number 31, Connor Chapman. That's his first, Cougars first. And Caleb Golke will step to the line, shoot 2. Indians get their first point of the contest at the 5:09 mark of the first period. Duquette checks back in. And it's Danny Karen will sit. Golke shot on the way. Second one's a little bit long. Chapman with a rebound. Indians showing a little bit 2-3 zone of their own. So Coach Barry's countering Coach Guerin's defensive tactic with a little bit of their own medicine. There's a nice dish inside, but can't handle it. Manor comes back the other way with a nice left-handed layup. Cougars go up, but a 10-1 score, and Matt Barry's seen quite enough here with 4 minutes and 36 seconds to go in the first half. His Indians are down by a score of 10-1. So we are back to action out of the timeout. I don't know if you heard me off air or not, but mild observation that the Cougars are sporting new uniforms tonight. I noticed that Connor Chapman is no longer wearing number 33. He's now wearing number 31. But as I was looking at that, I noticed that the Cougars are sporting new jerseys. So they maybe that's why they're so inspired coming out of the blocks here. But looking pretty good in the early goings with the 10-1 lead against a unbeaten Peru team. Here's a nice pass over for Chapman. Tries to get one up under the rim, but it bounces off the bottom of the backboard and goes out of bounds, and looks like the Cougars are going to retain possession. We got 15 seconds on the shot clock. Ball comes into Chapman. He's forced over the center line, but no backcourt there. Here's a pass, tries to go in for Carter, and it gets swatted away, and Casey Manor makes a nice hustle play to get on the floor to tie that ball up, and it'll go over to the Indians on the alternating possession. Okay, this is Carter with the ball, over for Goki. Goki, big lob over for Carter. Tries to get it in for Duquette. Duquette, strong move inside. The shot won't fall. Ball skips around. Goki comes up with the rebound. Blocked by Chapman. And Manor again comes up with a loose ball. Gives it off for Thomas Bedard. Over for Davison. Davison sees the odd man and comes up for Chapman. Chapman, nice left-handed shot. Drops that in. His first two points of the contest for Connor Chapman on a nice transition play by the Cougars. Again, Duquette goes up and his shot's blocked by Carter. And Robert Duquette being a little stymied here in the early going. When he does catch the ball, can't get it to drop, and he's having some issues inside. Here's Stephen Carter with the battle of the big man looking for some room, and he gets just hammered. That's, I think that's going to be 2 on Duquette, and Carter will step to the line to shoot 2. It's only showing 1, but I believe that's his second foul. We'll check that in a little bit, but again, I think he was whistled for 1 earlier in the game. Stephen Carter's first offering is on the way, and that's good. Mazzella checks back in, and that's Carter takes a rest. And Carter makes good on his second one. This is Mazzella for Indians. Quick ball movement. Here we go inside to Duquette again. Ball bounces away from him again. Davison comes away with it. Here's the Cougars on a little bit of a push, but Davison pulls back out of it. He's got Flynn guarding him, gets it in for Carter, and Carter gets called for the travel. Come the Indians back the other way. Mazzella over to Goki. This is Flynn. I'm sorry. Yeah, we're missing a number here. We'll have to work on that. Here's Duquette again. In the lane, puts it up and draws the foul. That's going to go against Connor Chapman. That'll be his second. And Duquette will step to the line to shoot 2. Substitution for the Indians. That's number 10. Dan Karen checks back in. Will Flynn will sit. Still got to work on getting a name for number 5. We don't have that one yet. Duquette converts his second free throw. This is Bedard with it. Bedard loses the handle. And Davison working on getting it, but gets it back over here. Bedard launches a three-pointer that doesn't hit anything. Carter's there for the offensive rebound and putback. 16-3 with 1:45 to go in the first quarter. Here's Mazzella looking at a three-pointer, and Karen was zigging and he thought he was zagging, and the ball went out of bounds, so it'll be a turnover back over to the Cougars. This is Bedard with it. Bedard looking to drive, goes into the lane, gets his shot blocked. Chapman is there for an offensive rebound and a putback. And referee Parker's going to call Chapman for the travel. Fell over a couple of pile of guys that were underneath the basket, and he made the right call. Connor Chapman had himself in a nice position to make that offensive rebound. Couldn't finish on the first conversion, and way too many bodies on the floor underneath for him to do anything about that. There's the Indians again, keeping it on the perimeter, looking for a way to get it inside. Here's Duquette at the top of the key, gets it over for Karen. Karen to Mazzella, over to number 5, don't know his name. He drives the lane, puts up the left-handed shot, won't go. And Duquette swats it away. Bedard drives the lane and will be called for the charge.
Okay, guys, you're still beating them. Let's go.
Here come the Indians. This is Mazzella over for Karen. Karen, little lazy pass over here. Here's Mazzella again. Now for Karen at the top. This is Goki. Here's a shot that's going to be a little bit short. Duquette with a nice offensive rebound and a putback. That's 4 points for Robert Duquette. Under a minute to go here in the first quarter. This is Bedard. The Cougars can play for the last shot here. Davison with it. He gets a screen from Casey Manor, and we get some substitutions for the Cougars. It'll be number 30. He changed his number 2. Number 21, Richie Collins, and number 24, Logan Miller check in for the Cougars. The final 30 seconds here in the first quarter. This is Miller with it. This is Davison throws up a prayer at the buzzer, and at the end of the first quarter, it's the Cougars 16, the Indians of Peru 5.
I don't think it's fair that they changed all the numbers. Cougars changed a bunch of numbers.
Alrighty, we're ready to start the second quarter of action here at Northeastern Clinton Central School. Again, this CVAC Division I matchup between the visiting Indians of Peru against the hometown Cougars of Northeastern Clinton. Cougars with an 11-point lead out of the chute. Here's Logan Miller with a three-pointer. It's a little bit short. He gets his own rebound, turns around, squares up, drops in a 15-footer. Here's the Indians back on the attack, keeping it on the perimeter, looking to put it inside. This is Goki. Well, he takes a couple extra steps in the paint. There's Mazzella puts up a three-pointer that a little bit off the mark. Carter with a nice rebound. Here's Davison, top of the key. Looking to penetrate. Does. Nice pass inside to Stephen Carter. Looks like that shot might have got altered just a little bit, but Indians get away with one there. Good, nice pass inside for Davison, and he swipes the ball and gets called for the hack. Looked like a pretty good play by Jamie Davison, but referee Parker right on it, and he got all hand instead of all ball. This will be Taylor Spear checks in for the Indians. Indians trying to generate a little bit of offense, down by 13 here in the early going of the second quarter. That one gets picked off with no problem. Here's a nice pass over for Miller. Miller has a little hard time gathering it in, and it gets blocked on the way up. A good idea, but again, the Davison-Miller combination couldn't quite click on that one. But here's a pass, inbounded to Logan Miller, and Logan tries to get it over for Davison, gets kicked out of bounds, and should be a Cougar ball. Davison inbound, gets it in for Carter. Carter looking for some space, throws up a shot. Chapman gets the offensive rebound, and it gets knocked out of his hand. And again, the Cougars will retain possession. 19 seconds on the shot clock. Davison inbound. And he calls a timeout. Can't find anybody to inbound to, so he calls the timeout. 6 minutes and 29 seconds to play in the first half. The Cougars with a 13-point lead. Okay, out of the timeout, the Cougars gets the ball inbounded, and this is Manor with it. Manor to Carter. Carter gives it to Manor at the foul line, and he drops that in. 4 points for Casey Manor. Again, the Cougars in that nice pressure zone. Duquette, good spin move. He goes around and converts that. 6 points for Robert Duquette. He's got all but one of Peru's points here in the first half. The ball gets inside for Carter. Carter turns around, puts up a spin move. Duquette blocks his shot. Two big guys have been going at it here pretty steadily these first couple minutes of this game, so it'll be interesting to see how this all plays out. Here's that fella from outside the three-point range. His shot's a little bit short. Carter clears that rebound. Again, the Indians sink back into a half-court man-to-man on a missed basket. Here's Manor, gives it over for Carter. Shot blocked again. Carter gets the offensive rebound, and he's going to draw the foul. That's going to go on Duquette. Like I said, I got him down for 3. I'm sure Moose is only going to put him up for 2, but we will check on that at halftime. We got some substitutions for the Indians. That's number 50. I just got him down as Whitney. Don't know his first name. Here's Chapman, gets the ball knocked out of his hand. Goki comes away with it. This is Carter, puts it in the lane, kicks it out from Mazzella, gets his man off his feet. Here goes a three-pointer by Carter, and that's good. Five minutes to go in the first half, and the Indians have cut the lead to 10. And now we got a foul on the floor. That's going to go on number 10, Dan Caron. We're a foul away from the ball, so the Cougars will inbound underneath. That's the 15th foul for the Indians. Miller to inbound. And again, we got another foul away from the ball. And that's going to go on Carter, and shoved his man out of the way.
Come on, Steven.
Don't worry about play the game.
Come the Indians bringing the ball up. This is Mazzella with it. Skokie. It's it off for Whitney. Back for Goki. This is Whitney with it. Here's Carter. Sends up a three, and that's good. Back-to-back three-pointers by Cup. And now we got a foul on the floor. We get a little bit of tussle underneath the boards. We haven't seen anything like this quite some time. That's Dan Caron is hit a little arm lock on Stephen Carter, and again we're going to have a foul on the floor, and looks like Coach Barry's going to get Caron out of the game before it gets a little out of hand here. This is referee Labarge over speaking with Coach Barry about the actions of his players. Hopefully we've got cooler heads prevailing here, and the Cougars will inbound. Here's Manor with that mid-range jumper, and he knocks that down. 6 points for Casey Manor, and a 9-point lead for the Cougars. This is Carter. Goki. This is inside for Whitney. Here's Goki. Kicks it over for Carter. He drops down another three. Back-to-back three-pointers by Kyle Carter, and it's trimmed the lead to 7 points for the 6 points for the Indians, and Carter with a nice move inside puts up the shot, and it won't go. Gets his own offensive rebound and gets nailed on the way up, and that's going to be foul on number 24, Joe Mazzella. That's going to be his second. So the Cougars are in the bonus here, so they'll be. This one's a shooting foul anyway, but they'll be in the bonus the way out. Carter converts on the first. You have to excuse me for not being able to keep track of everybody's score at this point. I've been able to do the best I can to catch up. Halftime, I'll get things recapped for you. Second half will be a little smoother on what's going on. This is Goki. You want to give it over to the hot hand, and he does, and that ball comes up short. Carter with a nice rebound. Gives it over for Miller. Miller with a 3-on-2 break. He pulls up at the foul line and drops that in. 4 points for Logan Miller off the bench to spark a little bit of a pressure here for the Cougars. Here's the Indians again, keeping it on the perimeter, looking for something to happen inside. This whole time, their big man Robert Duquette's been on the bench, and looks like Casey Manor is going to pick up a foul on the floor over here in the corner. It's only 6 fouls on the Cougars, so they got one to give. This is Carter with it. Here's Goki. Whitney. There's a pass inside. It's knocked away by Carter, but Whitney comes up with it. Throws up a layup a little bit too hard, and Chapman comes away with a rebound. Davison lobs one in for Carter. Nice catch, and he puts the shot up. That won't go, and rebounded by number 44, Charles Remillard for the Eagles, and looks like Stephen Carter is going to get whistled for his second foul and a loose ball foul underneath. Will Flynn will check back in for the Indians. We got 2 minutes and 39 seconds to go in a spirited first half. The Cougars with a 9-point lead at this point. Remillard will step to the line to shoot 1 and 1. First one's on its way, and that's good. And Remillard's second shot is on its way, and that one's good. And we got a timeout on the floor. Be a full timeout by the Cougars. So with 2 minutes and 39 seconds, the score is Cougars 25, the Indians 18. Okay, out of the timeout, the Cougars inbound. Here's Davison with it. He loses the handle and gets called for a travel. So there's a turnover for the Cougars, so the Indians will take possession under their own basket. It's inbounded to Remillard, over for Flynn. This is Carter. His shot won't go. Offensive rebound by Goki, and he puts that in. This is Miller with it, up for Manor. Gives it back for Miller. Miller gets it over the line. Here's Davison with it. Davison sends it in for Carter. Carter makes a nice move, gets his shot blocked, goes out of bounds, and that's going to go over to the Indians. Indians bring the ball up. This is Flynn. Goki for Carter. Carter for Whitney. Whitney inside for Goki. Turns around and drops in a short jumper. The Indians have turned it into a 3-point game. Here's Davison. Brings it up, drives the lane, puts up a shot. It won't go. Chapman with a nice offensive rebound, and he goes up for the putback and gets fouled by, looks like it's going to be on Remillard. Chapman will step to the line to shoot 2. Minute and 33 to go here in the first half, and the Indians have come roaring back to make it a 3-point game. First one by Chapman is up and good. Second one on its way, and that one hits the back of the rim, won't go, and Indians come away with it. Here's Carter running the floor, steps back behind the line, gives it to Goki. Goki drives the lane, tries to give it off for Remillard, who can't convert. This is Miller, pushes it up. Get over for Davison. Manor. Miller. Gives it for Davison. Davison puts a move on his man. Nice pass over for Chapman. Chapman converts. Another good assist by Jamie Davison. He's back up to a 6-point lead here. Just under a minute to go in the first half. This is Goki. Flynn from way out knocks that down. First 3 points of the ball game for Will Flynn makes it a 3-point game here with 20 seconds. The Cougars will play for the last shot. Carter with it. Get a whistle on the floor. That's going to go against number 23, Caleb Goki. And Stephen Carter will shoot 1 and 1. It's going to be number 33, Taylor Spears, going to check in. And also number 34, Robert Duquette. And looks like he's going to send in... No, it's going to be it for Coach Barry here. Got 10 seconds to go in the first half. Cougars up by 3. Carter shooting 1 and 1. First one's good. Second one's on its way, and that one's also good. Here come the Indians, come up the other way. Davison steals that, but Flynn gets it back. Gives it over for, and here's Whitney. Puts up a desperation shot at the end of the half, and that one doesn't go. So after 16 minutes of play, it's the Cougars 30, the Indians, the Peru 25. Back to action here, folks, for the second half of this CVAC Division I matchup between the hometown Cougars of Northeastern Clinton and the visiting Indians of Peru Central School. Peru starts off with the ball, can't convert on the offensive end, and pass inside, it gets swatted away, and the Indians come away with it on a break. Excuse me, Goki can't handle that one, and the Cougars come away with the turnover. This is Davison, drives away, dishes it off for Bedard. Bedard squares up, puts up a shot, doesn't go. Carter with an offensive rebound and hits the underside of the glass. Duquette with a rebound, gives it for Goki. Goki kicks it off for Carter. Carter with 3 3-pointers in the first half to spark that Indian comeback. This is, sorry, that's Karen. Gives it for Mazzella. Mazzella to Goki, dishes it for Duquette, who converts on the inside. Eight points for Robert Duquette in some limited playing time in the first half. Here's Manor, gives it for Chapman. Chapman squares away and goes up. It'll be interesting to see what the call is here. We got a foul, but he was going up. Looked like he was going to take the shot. He dished it off, and the referees are going to call that foul on the floor. So it's actually see who it was against. It was against Robert Duquette. That's going to be his third foul. Cougars inbound. Here's a lob in for Carter. Nice catch. Turns around and converts. 12 points for Stephen Carter. Here's Duquette with it. Gives it over for Kyle Carter. He squares up and knocks down another 3-pointer. 12 points on 4 3-pointers for Kyle Carter here to keep the Indians in this game. This is Bedard with it. Bedard dribbles the lane, gives it off for Davison. Davison heaves up a 3, and it's a little bit strong. Carter with the rebound.
Gotta get those rebounds.
Pushes it up, and that goes out of bounds. Hard to concentrate on where the pass is going to come when the coach is screaming in your ear. But anyway, turnover for the Indians, and we got a substitution.
And the coach gives him heck.
That's right, and then the coach turns around and gives him heck for not knowing where the pass was. Well, here's Manor, squares up, and his shot's a little bit short. Connor Chapman with a nice offensive rebound and a putback, and gets fouled on the way up. In the meantime, Coach Berry has substituted number 44, Remillard, in for Robert Duquette. Sits down with his 3 fouls. Connor Chapman will go to the line to shoot 2. First one's up and good. That's 6 for Chapman. Another substitution. That's number 50, Novelli, checks in for the Indians. Chapman, second one on its way. A little bit strong. Won't drop. This is Goki. Gives it over for Carter, the hot shooter. Don't want to give him too much space. This is Goki. Nice move. Kicks it out for Mazzella. Mazzella squares up. He drops down a 3. First points of the night for Joe Mazzella, and Coach Guerin has seen enough. When the 5 minutes and 1 second to go in the third quarter, the Indians have pulled into a 33-all tie. All right, folks, break out of the timeout here. The Cougars will inbound. Indians show a little bit of pressure, but back out of it pretty quickly. See what the Cougars have for show for offense. This is Manor. Drives the lane. Gives it to Bedard. Bard. Carter. This is Carter with it. Davison. He's in for Chapman. Chapman looks to square up. Shot's a little bit short. It's on the ground. The Indians come away with it. But here's Mazzella with a nice pass up for Goki. Goki lays it in. The Indians with their first lead of the night. And we got a foul away from the ball. Looks like it's going to go away. It's going to go against number 50. That's Mike Novelli. That's going to be his first. Team second here in the... actually it goes against number 10. I'm sorry. It's going to go against Dan Karen. That's his third. Here's Davison. Squares up. Ball's in and out. Mazzella comes away with the rebound. Gives it over for Carter. Carter, we're looking for some space. Novelli back into Carter. Nice dish off for Remillard. He can't finish. Goki makes a nice move inside and dishes it off to Remillard, who I don't think was expecting that pass, so it slides out of bounds for a turnover for the Indians. And Coach Berry goes to the bench again. Calls on Ben Whitney to come back in, and Joe Mazzella will sit down. Indians with a 2-point lead here. 3 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the third quarter. Davison drives, and looks like Whitney's going to pick up the foul. Davison will inbound. This is Chapman. Miller. He squares up and puts the shot up and draws the foul. That foul is going to go against Novelli. Logan Miller will shoot 2. 3 minutes and 28 seconds to go in the third quarter. First one short. Second one for Miller is on the way, and that one's good. 5 points for Logan Miller. Here's Goki. This is Carter. Drives in the lane, gives it for Remillard. Remillard kicks it out for Whitney. Over for Novelli. This is Goki with it. Gets a little bit of space and knocks down a 16-footer. Nine points for Caleb Goki. This is Miller with it for Chapman. Here's Davison, drives the lane, puts up a nice running layup that doesn't go. Carter with an offensive rebound and picks up draws the foul. That's going to go against Whitney. That's his second foul here in the second half. The Indians already with 16 fouls. 2 minutes and 44 seconds to go in the third quarter. Stephen Carter will shoot 2. First one's on its way, and that's good. That's 13 for Carter. Carter, second one on its way, and that's good. 14 points for Stephen Carter. Indians with a 1-point lead in the ball. 2.5 to go in the third quarter. This is Carter. Whitney inside for Novelli. Novelli kicks it out. Here's Carter all alone. Had the hot hand. That one's a little bit short, but Whitney comes away with an offensive rebound, drives the lane, and draws the foul. It's going to be 2 on Stephen Carter. Ben Whitney will step to the line to shoot 2. First one's up and rolls around, drops in. His first point of the night. Second one's on its way, and that one's good. These Cougars with a little hard time getting any offense going here in the second half. It passes inside for Chapman and gets knocked out of bounds, and they'll retain possession. Number 24, Joe Mazzella, checks back in for the Indians. So Kyle Carter will get a rest. Inbounds pass is stolen by the Eagles. This is Mazzella with it. Mazzella to Remillard, drives the baseline, dribbles it off his foot. Ball's on the ground, and Bedard makes a nice hustle play to get on that. Here's Miller, gets his defender off his feet. Ball gets slapped out of bounds, and Cougars will retain possession. Inbounded. This is Miller with it. And he gets called for the travel. Dragged that pivot foot, and referee Labarge right on that. No, we're not going to have any of that. Here's Mazzella with it. Moves it over for Whitney. Whitney in for Golke, gets his defender off his feet, drives and puts in a nice layup. Caleb Golke with 11 points. Here's Miller again, drives the baseline, dishes it off for Chapman. Chapman converts. 8 points for Connor Chapman. The Indians with a 3-point lead, 41-38 with a minute to go in the third quarter. Here's a long pass stolen by Connor Chapman. Chapman drives it in and converts the layup. 4 quick ones by Connor Chapman, and he's got 10 now. Indians with the ball. Whitney drives it in the lane, but that pass gets picked off by Jamie Davison. Davison brings the ball up, gives it off for Carter. Carter drives in and converts. 30 seconds to go in the third quarter. The Indians look like they'll try to hold for the last shot. The Cougars have gone back ahead, 42-41, 1-point lead with under 30 seconds, and Coach Berry calls a 30-second timeout. All right, back to action out of the timeout. Indians with the ball, 17 seconds to play here in the third quarter. This is Golke with it. Sends it in for Duquette. Duquette squares and puts the shot up, and that won't drop. Ball gets knocked out of bounds by the Cougars, so the Indians will get another shot out of here. 6.9 seconds to go in the third quarter, and Carter checks back in. There's a lob inside for Duquette, a little bit high. Here's Davison, and he gets called for the travel. Goes up in the air and loses control of it, so he gets called for the travel, and again we go back over to the Indians with 2.2. Here's Carter with it, shuts one off from half court. It's just a little bit strong, and that's the way the third quarter will end. So after 3 quarters of play, it's the Cougars of Northeastern Clinton 42, the Indians of Peru 41. Folks, here we go for the fourth quarter of this tightly contested Division I, CVAC Division I basketball game between the host Cougars of Northeastern Clinton and the visiting Indians of Peru Central. Peru comes into this contest undefeated, and there's a shot by Thomas Bedard, comes up a little bit short, but Stephen Carter makes a nice effort to grab that rebound and gets fouled on the way up. And it looks like that foul is going to go against Robert Duquette. It's going to be his fourth. Picks it up early here in the fourth quarters. Not sure how Coach Berry's going to react to that. And Carter's first foul shot comes up short. Looks like Duquette's going to go to the bench right off. Joe Mazzella is going to come in and take his place. Carter's been pretty solid from the foul line today. Gets 16 points, most of which have come from the stripe, and converts the second of that one. 17 points for Stephen Carter to lead all scorers. There's a nice drive in for Goki. Dishes it off, but Karen finally gets the handle and tries to kick it out to Whitney, and Whitney was moving in the wrong direction. That'll be a turnover by the Cougars. Excuse me, turnover for the Indians. This is Davison with it. Whitney on him. Gives it over for Manor. Manor gets called for the travel. Took one little extra step there. He probably shouldn't have. And so the both teams swap turnovers here in the first 30 seconds of the final quarter. This is Mazzella with it. Again, Mazzella. Sent in for Goki. Goki in the paint. Squares away. The ball won't drop. Manor with a rebound. Gets it out for Davison. Davison, nice pass up for Chapman. Gets the ball slapped out of his hand by Karen. Good defensive play by Dan Karen to recover and knock that ball out of Connor Chapman's hand. Looked like an easy 2 for the Cougars. The Cougars will inbound. Meantime, Logan Miller checks in for Casey Manor. Coach Karen looking for a little ball handling on this one. Here's a pass inside for Bedard, who gets knocked down, and we got a foul on the way up. So Kyle Carter will step to the line to shoot 2. Jamie Davison picks up his second foul. First one's on its way and good. 13 points for Kyle Carter. That's the first one that he's made that hasn't been of the three-point variety. Another one on its way. That was a little strong. Chapman with a rebound. We got a held ball. Cougars will get possession. Inbounded. This is Whitney with it. Over for Carter. Carter. Bedard on him. Here's Goki. Goki drives, kicks it out from Mazzella. Mazzella squares up, knocks down a three. Six points for Joe Mazzella here in the second half. Here's Miller. Miller, Davison looking to drive the lane. And goes down on the ground, but knocks the ball off Mazzella's foot, and the Cougars will retain possession. 19 seconds on the shot clock. Here's a pass in for Carter, and he's going to draw the foul. That foul's going to go against, I believe they're going to call number 10, Danny Caron, for that foul. That's his fourth. So he goes out of the game, and Mike Novelli, number 50, Mike Novelli checks back in. Carter again to the line. First one's up. That doesn't fall. There's a shot by the Indians. Doesn't go. Bedard, good effort to get the rebound. Throws it in and gets picked off. Here's Mazzella again with a long three-pointer. And Coach Guerin's seen enough. Calls a timeout. Okay, out of the timeout, we get 5 minutes and 51 seconds to go in the game. We get the Indians with a 5-point lead, 48-43. The Cougars with the ball. This is Logan Miller. He's got Mazzella on him. Gives it over for Davison. Davison in for Carter. Carter bounces off his foot, but Bedard is there to take care of that. Gives it over for Miller. Miller, long pass over for Chapman. Chapman spins in the lane, puts up a shot, a little bit short. And that one bounces around. Mazzella comes away with a rebound. This is Carter with it. A good offensive end for the Cougars, but they couldn't convert. Peru showing some good defense. Now they're content to keep the ball on the perimeter, work the clock down. There's a turnover by the Indians. Bedard comes away with it. Gives it for Davison. Davison spins the lane, and he gets held on his way into the lane. That's going to go, not sure who the foul was on. We'll have to wait for Mr. Misek to catch up with us here. I wasn't really watching. We got a timeout on the floor called by Coach Berry. 4 minutes and 52 seconds to go. We got Cougars, or the Indians 48, the Cougars 43. Back out of the timeout. Jamie Davison will stand at the line, shoot 1 and 1. First shot's up and good. 3 points for Jamie Davison. Second one is on its way. That one's good. The Indians bring the ball up. This is Joe Mazzella. The Cougars have switched to a man-to-man defense here. And this is Mazzella. Chapman on him. Here's Golke. Drives the lane, puts up a runner, a little bit strong. Bedard with the rebound. Gives it up for Chapman. Chapman for Davison. Davison for Carter at the top. Gets it in for Chapman, and he gets fouled. Nice pass inside for Connor Chapman. Strong basket, and that's number 23, Caleb Goki, going to pick up the foul. Going to be 3 on Goki. Connor Chapman will shoot 2. Chance to pull the Cougars to within 1. Makes the first one. Substitution for the Indians. That's number 10, Dan Karen, checks back in. Ben Whitney sits down, and for the Cougars will be 45. Casey Manor checks in. Logan Miller will take a seat. Chapman, second one's on the way, a little bit short. Carter with a rebound. This is Carter with it. Inside for Duquette, who slipped in, and there Manor knocks the ball away from him. This is Bedard with it. Gives it in for Chapman. Chapman lets it roll off his foot, and Robert Duquette picks up the loose ball, and Chapman slaps away at it and picks up the foul. It'll be his third foul for Connor Chapman. Only the third team foul of the Cougars, so the Indians will bring the ball up with a 2-point lead. 3 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the final quarter. This is Karen, Duquette, Mazzella, Karen, Mazzella again, Duquette. There's a nice lob inside for Karen, but catches the ball but can't quite convert. And the Cougars will come away with it. There's Bedard, squares away for 3, a little bit short. And the ball will go out of bounds. Here's the Indians again with the ball. This is Mazzella. Coach Berry content to use up a lot of that 35-second clock here on these possessions. This is Carter with it. Mazzella and Carter have been pretty good on the outside here with those 3-pointers. Again, Mazzella from way out. That one's a little bit strong. Ball bounces around. Goki with the offensive rebound, and he draws the foul. Looks like it's going to go on Casey Manor. It's going to be his third. Caleb Goki will be at the line to shoot 2. His first one's on the way, and that one doesn't go. A little bit strong. 11 points for Goki. The Indians have spread the scoring around fairly well. Second one's on its way, and that one's strong as well. Ball's on the floor, and Manor ties it up. Gonna go over to the Cougars. This is Bedard with it. And we got a foul away from the ball. If that's on Dan Karen, that's going to be his 5th. And it is. So number 10, Dan Karen, fouls out with 2 minutes and 21 seconds to go in the game. And you get 20 seconds to put that substitution in, so the referees will call him back out. Carter's first shot's a little bit long. Second one's on its way. That one doesn't go either. Duquette with the rebound. This is Mazzella, brings it up. 2 minutes to go, 2 minutes and 10. Indians with a 2-point lead. This is Carter with it, over for Whitney. Whitney in for Goki. Goki puts it on the floor, kicks it out. This is Carter. Carter with under 10 seconds to shoot. Goki drives the lane and he'll pick up a foul. And that's going to it's going to be a foul underneath. It's going to go on Thomas Bedard. It's only his second, but gives the Indians a fresh 35. Here's Goki. Whitney, Mazzella squares up, in and out. Ball hits the ground and Bedard comes away with it. Cougars with a chance to tie. Here's Manor with a little mid-ranger. Short, won't drop. Again, Manor with a nice hustle play to keep it alive. Thomas Bedard in for Carter. Carter, the shot won't fall. Carter with a nice hustle play and gets the ball back, and the Cougars alertly call a timeout. Minute 19 to go. The Indians 48, the Cougars 46. All right. Okay, back out of the timeout. We're gonna have to have a pretty exciting finish for you here, folks, with minute 19 to go in the game. Regulation time, that is. Here's Logan Miller on the drive. Gives it for Davison. Davison gets the ball tied up. Going to turn the ball over for to the Indians with minute 7 to go. Number 50, Mike Novelli, checks back into the game. This is Mazzella with it. And he gets a, Coach Berry calls a timeout. Just under a minute to go, 56 seconds to go in the game. In regulation, that is. All right, folks, here we go. This game has certainly lived up to its billing. We got almost a packed house in here tonight to see the final 50 seconds regulation time between the visiting Peru Indians, undefeated Peru Indians, and the once beaten Cougars of Northeastern Clintons. Here's Kyle Carter, squares up. His shot's a little bit short. There's Bedard on a hustle. And ball goes out of bounds, and the Cougars will have possession of that. Looks like the ball was tipped on the way out, and Cougars are inbound. Here, Ben Whitney checks back into the game, and Novelli sits down. Barry's doing Coach Barry's doing an offense-defense type substitution here. Inbounded to Carter. Here's Davison, drives the lane but backs out of it. Puts up a shot, it gets blocked inside, and the ball gets tied up. And it's going to go over to the Cougars. And Coach Guerin wants a timeout. So with 28.7 seconds to go in the fourth quarter, the Indians with clinging to that 2-point lead, 48-46. All right, folks, so out of that timeout, the Cougars will inbound with 28.7 seconds on the clock. Looking to get that shot to tie it up. Here's Davison, beats his man. Ball goes out of bounds, and Cougars are going to retain possession. Again, the ball is inbounded. Bedard with it. Gives it for Davison. Davison penetrates, skips back out. Bedard to Chapman. Here's Bedard in the lane, puts up a runner off the backboard and in. 10 seconds to go in the game. This is Goki, gives it out for Carter. Carter shot, a little bit short. Chapman with a rebound. Ball goes out of bounds and the clock goes off. So after 32 minutes of play, we got a tie ball game. 48 on a nice clutch shot by the freshman Thomas Bedard in the lane with time expiring. Okay, folks, so we're in overtime here. 4 minutes on the clock. We got a 48-48 tie ball game here coming to you from Champlain, New York, this Tuesday evening, January 5th, 2010. The Cougars jumped out to a quick lead, and Indians came storming back. Here's Bedard, converts the first 2 points of the overtime. 7 points for him, none any bigger than those last 4, I'll tell you that. Here's the Indians, and Coach. We got a whistle here. I'm not sure what that was all about, but anyway, the ball will get inbounded again. The Indians with it. This is Mazzella. Here's Carter. Mazzella. Whitney. This is Goki. Gets it in for Duquette. Goes out of bounds, and last touch by the Indians. So Robert Duquette's had a little hard time hanging on to the ball on the inside. He's had limited playing time today due to foul trouble, but Coach Berry going with him here in the overtime. He is a clutch player, no doubt about that. Here's Davison, drives the lane, and looks like the foul is going to be on the floor. It should be in the bonus all the way through the overtime period for the Cougars anyway. They look like they're in the double bonus. Indians with only 5 team, Cougars with only 5 team fouls, so they do have a couple fouls to give before the Indians will shoot. Davison's first one up and good. That's 5 points for Jamie Davison. Second one's on its way, and that one's good. Cougars with a 4-point lead here. 3:06 to go in the first overtime. This is Goki.
Keep it outside.
Sends it over for Carter. Carter looking to get it inside. That won't go. Novelli skips it over for Mazzella. Mazzella for Goki. Back to Mazzella with some space. Catches and shoots. A little bit short, but Duquette with a nice offensive rebound. Turns around and puts that in. 10 points for Robert Duquette. This is Chapman with it. Gives it for Manor. Manor skips it over for Bedard. Bedard squares. His shot goes in and out. Goki rebounds. 2 minutes and 15 to go in the first overtime. Cougars up by 2. This is Duquette. Here's Carter with it. Gets it in for Goki. Out for Mazzella. Mazzella shoot. His three-pointer attempt is short. Duquette squares. His shot goes in and out. Carter with a rebound. This is Davison with it. Gives it up for Bedard. Back to Davison. Just under 2 minutes to go in the first overtime. Davison kicks it over for Bedard. Bedard squares for 3. Shot's a little bit short. Manor with an offensive rebound and a putback. 8 points for Casey Manor for his first 2 of the second half. Another some clutch shooting by these players by the Cougars who don't score all that often, but when they do, they make it count. So again, Casey Manor and Thomas Bedard showing up big here in the overtime session. The Cougars with a 4-point lead, minute and 33 to go in the first overtime. All right, out of that timeout, again, 1:33 showing on the clock. Cougars with a 4-point lead here in the first overtime. Indians with the ball. Here's Carter from the corner. His shot's good. 3-pointer knocked down. And we got a timeout on the floor. All right, folks. Again, we're back to action out of this timeout. We got 1:14 showing on the clock now. Cougars with a 1-point lead. Ball's inbounded to Thomas Bedard. Bedard gives it up for Chapman. Chapman gets that ball knocked out of bounds by Duquette. Cougars will retain possession. Carter to inbound. 1:09 on the clock, 25 on the shot clock. This is Chapman with it. Here's Bedard, drives the lane, puts up the shot, gets it blocked, it's on the floor, gets tied up. It's going to go over to the Indians. Duquette with a nice block of Thomas Bedard's drive. Turns out to be a held ball, so the possession arrow goes back over to the Cougars. It can be key here in overtime, in late stages of the game. This is Mazzella with it for Goki. Whitney inside for Duquette. Back out for Goki. Goki in the lane. Gets it over for Mazzella. Gets his defender off his feet. That one looks like it's going to be a little short. Goes off Ben Whitney over to the Cougars. 39.4 to go in the overtime. Cougars with a 1-point lead. This is Manor with it. Gives it up for Davison. Davison for Manor. Manor dribbles through the pressure. Takes it in, lays it off the glass. Nice move by Casey Manor. I'm not sure that the Indians expected him to drive to the basket like that, but looked pretty good from here. 20 seconds to go in the first overtime. The Cougars with a 3-point lead. There's Duquette inside, puts it off the glass and in, and we got a timeout on the floor. All right, here we go, folks. Getting 10.3 seconds to go in the first overtime. Cougars will inbound. This is Davison with it, and he gets fouled as expected. So he gets 2 seconds off the clock, and he will step to the line to shoot 2. Jamie Davison has been perfect from the line so far tonight. This is some clutch free throws for the sophomore. Sorry, for the junior. Makes the first one. Second one is up, and that one's good as well. 8 points for Jamie Davison. There, the ball gets knocked out of bounds, and the Indians will retain possession. 6.1 on the clock. Indians down by 3. They've been pretty hot from behind the arc, so not unreasonable that Coach Berry will call for something from the outside, although no reason why he wouldn't want to get it inside to his big man and hope to draw the foul. Cougars will be content to let that one go. Here's Whitney, gets fouled on a 3-point attempt, which to me doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but happened anyway. So Ben Whitney's going to get a chance to pull the Indians into a tie here with 3 free throws. 1.3 seconds on the clock. Not sure what was going through Davison's head when he fouled that player on that shot. First one doesn't go. That's big pressure on the number 5 Ben Whitney. Second one's in. 3 points for Whitney, all coming from the line. Second one. And he's going to be called for the violation, going over the line a little bit too quickly. Certainly looking to miss that shot intentionally, but got over the foul line a little bit too quickly. Here's Carter, sends the ball in. Goes up in the air, the clock goes off. And the Cougars will come away with a 2-point victory here in overtime. So after 36 minutes of play, the Cougars outlast the Indians of Peru by a score of 58-56 on a well-contested ball game all the way around. So that's the way it was here from beautiful downtown Champlain, New York on this Tuesday evening, January 5th, 2010. Thank you for watching Hometown Cable Television, worth your support.